closing statement to Coach Garrido. We'll have time for questions from Coach and Colin Shaw and Tracy Clear. Coach.
All right. I think that we just saw Dallas Baptist play an excellent baseball game. I mean, from every phase of it, they were terrific. We lost the game, but in reality, they won the game. They did everything to win the game, and it was remarkable. In the third inning, when they executed the show bunt and then bounced it over the third baseman's head, and they switched from bunting to hitting, it was perfection, offensive perfection. The line drives that they hit off quality pitching were timely, frequent, with 2 outs, with 2 strikes. So the storyline really isn't about us, in my opinion. At least from my point of view, the storyline is all about Dallas Baptist and the great team that they have and the great game that they played today. I'm not going to say anything negative about our team because it would take away from an outstanding performance by Dallas Baptist. Their pitcher, when he got those 4 runs, he got a lot better. Most of them do. And he capitalized on it. So they got the momentum in the third with a great offensive inning and then just kept working it throughout the rest of the game. They hit good pitches. They hit them hard. They hit them on a line. They hit them into holes. This was not a luck factor. This was not a gift from us to them. This is something they earned by excellent performances in every phase of the game. Their positioning was excellent. How about the last out? Darn good positioning right out of the dugout. That was on Brooks to get that out. So my hat goes off and my hand goes out to shake that of Dallas Baptist coaching staff, their team, their players. They deserve that.
Does it make it any easier to argue the fact that they played such a dominant game, even though it ended your season?
Well, what happens to me, I can only speak for myself, but what happens to me right now, I'm still in professional mode, and I go into kind of a shock. It's just like when you have extreme pain from a cut, you don't feel it at first. After a while, it starts to bleed, and after a while, it starts to hurt. But then, eventually, you recognize you have another opportunity, and it goes away, it heals. And the wound is a scar now that reminds you of what you the hard work you have to do in recruiting, and we've done a good job with that. The hard work you have to do in team development and attitude. We know how to do that. And I had several of the junior players come up to me after and said, this won't happen next year. This will not happen. This year we went in with a lot of expectations as a result of the run that we made right at the end last year, finishing third. And it encouraged and it nurtured expectations. And when we didn't get what we wanted when we wanted it and got beat up on, it cut us deeply. But they never lost confidence in themselves. And I was able to say to them after the game, you know the difference between what it feels like to win and lose now. And this is going to serve you well for the rest of your life, because it will. The pain that goes along with this will encourage you to move forward in whatever you choose to be. And you will want to win the game that you're in because of the pain you feel right now. And I know that to be true from past teams that have lost the national championship on the last day. So the life lesson at this point brings satisfaction to me, knowing that the players are going to be better people as a result of this.
Players, their guy, like Coach said, seemed like he got stronger as the game went on. Did you get that feeling from him?
Yeah, he attacked the zone with his best pitches and threw a great game. Hats off to him. a good job, man. He hit the zone, competed. We just tried to give it our all, and it just didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
Trace, you were nodding your head in agreement to what Augie was saying. Can you kind of spin this forward to, your expectations for this team next year? I know it's pretty fresh off this loss, but just what you guys are bringing back, what you guys can do next year.
We lose a lot of guys, man. It's not so much about winning and losing the last game. I still would have felt the same way we won the national championship. Just the relationships you build with the guys on the team, It's gonna suck not walking into the locker room seeing a guy like Colin Shaw and Parker French and Brooks Marlowe. Those guys are Class A, man, and it's gonna be hard. But we got to just regroup, go back to the drawing board, and get back to work. We have a lot of guys also coming back, and young guys that didn't get to play as much this year that have a lot of talent. And it's going to be fun. We're going to hit the ground running, and we'll be back next year for sure.
Did you know that Waller was that dangerous hitter for them? 6 RBIs, 3-run shot.
We knew he was a good hitter, yeah, but he had a great day, as did the rest of their hitters. I think they kind of woke up as a result of the first game that they played and got back within themselves. They've had a great year all year offensively, so we knew that their lineup was potentially extremely potent.
How do you fix your offense? 3 hits going forward, the next season?
I think you fix the offense by getting them focused on offense instead of trying to hit all the time and batting average. We talk against that. We talk about run scoring. When it didn't go well for us, we got locked into batting average and individual performances, trying to fix what was wrong. And I kept saying to him, what did I say, Colin? It's not broken.
Yeah, can't fix what's
It's not broken. You can't fix something that's not broken. You just have to stop trying to fix something that's broken. Just be yourself. The ball player inside of you is the one that has to play the game. The game you have is the one you have to bring to the team. But their emotions got them because of all the devastating losses. And heck, man, you see those professional golfers out there getting busted up. Look at Adam Scott, one in the world where he can't putt anymore. It's real. It's just real.
Augie, do you feel like you got away from small ball too much?
In parts of the season, when we started to we wanted to fix the hitting. I played my part in that, right? So then really, when you play offense, you have a lot more ways to reward yourself than just getting a hit. And getting a hit you can't control because they can always catch it. All you can do is take a quality at bat. And I did my part to lead them away from that kind of thinking.
In general, was this team better than a team that goes out the first week in the NCAA tournament, or did it kind of end up the way it deserved to?
I think the team is potentially better than that, and I know I'm telling on myself when I say that. I'm responsible for the leadership, so if the team doesn't play up to the level of its potential, but so I'll just leave it at that. I think there's more in there than what happened. And I'm not going to start making excuses about being on the road or all these kinds of things that get thrown out, because no matter what, we still had an opportunity. And in this case, we worked hard to capitalize on our opportunity in the tournament. And this time, the Friday night loss was devastating. But what the other team did today was superior.
Who were the juniors after the game that told you this isn't going to happen again?
Casey and Tress. Is it? Well, yeah, I missed a year in school, but I was a high D student at a state university too, so.
We will be.
It doesn't take genius to run a baseball team. 9's the highest number in the whole game. Yeah. No.
How would you quantify the disappointment you feel now the season's over?
It hasn't really set in yet. We played hard, and it will set in eventually, but I love playing baseball here, and I love everyone, and I'll just miss all the relationships more than anything. And I think that's what a lot of people say about the season. And we didn't go out without a fight. We were backs against the wall last week, and we got in a regional, and that's what we'll remember from this season probably when it sets in.
Augie, you sent Mays out there and then Johnston out there, and you were warming up Sawyer. Just throwing everything in at this game. And
Right.
Figure out the rest later.
That's right. That's what you have to do, in my opinion. You cannot give them any more runs. We did, and they earned them. But we took the best we had to stop them at 4, and they wouldn't go for it. They were rude. They just kept trying to win.
Were you surprised at all by how well they handled Culbreth after the way that they kind of struggled against the soft lefty on Friday?
I missed the first part.
Were you surprised at all at the way they handled Culbreth after the way they struggled Friday against the soft lefty?
I don't get surprised very much. Not even on my birthday. I'm just glad I have one. So that's just baseball. That's the way baseball is. It goes that way. But anything I say, I do not want to take away from the truth that they played an excellent baseball game in every phase of the game. They really did.
Did your team play a game this year as good as the one that Dallas Stratford played today? At that level?
Yeah, I think in the tournament we did. I think we had superior. We didn't have the high number of runs that they did, but bar that, I think the 3 pitching performances of complete games is about as good as it gets. How much toll it took on them out here, I don't know, but I don't want to go there. The truth is, we had our moment at the Big 12 tournament. We made the most of it. And got here, and we got here and we lost a 5-4 game, and then today we got beat by a team that was functioning on every cylinder, man. Really good.
Coach, we appreciate it. Coach Rio, Colin, Tracy, so much.
Okay.
You guys, well, quick breakout with the trust call right outside. Just, start with an opening statement from Coach Dan Hefner. Also, once he's done, we'll have questions for Coach Hefner. Just along before we say it. Coach.
Well, that was a huge win for this season. Obviously, it was a must-win for us. We had to win the game to keep going. But that's a big win for our program, too, to be able to host a regional. And, we wanted to be able to show well in this and just all the excitement around the program. And then to do it against the University of Texas, too, just, knowing how big that is in the state and what that does for our university and our program. Couldn't be more proud of Corey. That's by far the best outing we've had this year. One of the best since I've been here at DBU, just when you think about the whole situation and how he went about it. And then, I thought it was a whole team effort. The guys really, really played well today.
Corey, you're typically a guy that goes 5-6 innings. You go the distance today. Was that just a mental thing at that point? You had a nice lead and you just wanted to finish it off?
Just got to pound the zone when you're ahead. I've trained all the years I've been here to go complete games, and I fell short a few times, so I'm lucky to be able to go out there and go 9.
Did you feel like you almost got stronger once you got to the middle innings? It seemed like you kind of found another gear there.
Yes, sir. I was able to just keep pounding the zone with the fastball and locate it where I needed it.
Corey, Reno said that it looked like you became a little different pitcher when you got the 4-run lead out there. How much did that kind of help your comfort zone?
Big time. Be able to get some runs early, be able to pound the zone freely without any pressure. So credit to the hitters today.
Dan, you talk about what this meant for your program, even with all the accomplishments you had. I don't know if you're aware, but you haven't beaten Texas since 1997. It's been kind of a lopsided series. Could you expand just a little bit on what this means?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality of it is it's the University of Texas, and in this state, that's a huge deal. You just see it with the crowd that they had here and everything. And, like you said, I've been here 11 years. We don't play them every year, but we haven't beat them since I've been here. They've never been here on campus before, so that was another thing that made it a big thing for the program. And, I just think, the number of guys that we have from the state of Texas, too. So just, to me, that's another thing, just kind of shows their character that, they didn't get overwhelmed by it. They didn't get intimidated by it. They just went out and played their game today. And, really that's the type of team that we've been all year long. The type of confidence they played with, their presence, just the 1 through 9, what Corey did just gave us a great start. So, just really need to do it in this setting, in an elimination game against the University of Texas at home.
Was there added motivation for you personally playing Texas?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's always, awesome playing the bigger schools, especially, being a smaller school. We love the kind of the underdog role, and it's definitely great to get out there and see all the orange in the stands, too, is definitely a motivating factor.
Were you overlooked by all of the bigger schools?
Yep, sure was. But, glad I ended up where I did.
The offense, it seemed like the last couple of weeks has kind of struggled. I mean, not like you were the rest of the season. How did you guys kind of regroup from Friday to today?
It starts one at-bat at a time. We had a long break, I guess, from the conference tournament, and allowed guys to get in the cages and work some things out. And the first game we came out, we were a little slow to get started, but today we were ready and jumped on some pitches early. And really, once we started hitting, we kind of found our gear and got rolling.
Justin, what's been going on with you? Played not just in this game, but going back like the last 18 games, finish of the regular season tournament, and now the NCAA tournament, because you've been on quite a tear there, especially from an RBI standpoint.
Yeah, I just credit to the guys in front of me getting on base, and I just been going up there and just trying to have quality at bats. A lot of confidence in me from my teammates and my coaches, so it gives me motivation to produce, and I've just been swinging it well, fortunately so far, and just want to keep that momentum going into the rest of this tournament.
Did you change up anything late in the season? Anything different?
Not really. Just working on getting my foot down and seeing the ball deep, and when I do that, my swing's way better and more consistent. So I've just been trying to do that.
What happened on the 3-run home run, 3-1 count, I believe? What did he come with?
He came with a fastball, left it kind of up, and I was looking just to put a good swing on it, hit to the middle of the field, and I saw it pretty deep and hit it more to right, but I got a good piece of it, got it up in the air a little bit, and kind of found the corner there, fortunately, but yeah.
Did you feel like the off day, what ended up being an off day, did that help you guys relax at all, or get over Friday?
I think it did. I think that was a good thing for us. At the same time, I think we were really eager to get back on the field again. So when that first happened yesterday, and when I woke up and it was raining real hard again, I was pretty disappointed, because I think we just wanted to get back out there right away and get that taste out of our mouth and get to playing again. But then after we had a break and we were able to get another practice in yesterday and kind of clear our heads a little bit, I think it was a good thing. So yeah, probably good for us.
The approach that you saw from your hitters today against another soft lefty after you kind of got eaten up on Friday by a soft lefty, what did you see different today?
Yeah, I thought they did a better job, but I wouldn't necessarily classify him as a soft lefty either. He was 87, 88 when he would throw his fastball. So a little more, kind of the timing that they're used to. But I did think they did a good job. I thought the plate discipline was better. I thought he threw some off-speed pitches down in the zone that guys were checking off on and taking, where the other day we were just kind of, I think, he was dictating our timing. It was coming in slow and we were slowing down and just making contact with it. And I thought some guys today too, they just took their swing. There's a few times we swung through balls, but that's kind of our plan, is that you get your best swing off early in the count and you either hit it hard or you swing and miss on it because you got another chance later. So I thought they did a better job of just sticking with their approach and doing what they do best.
Coach, was this a perfect game? Could have been much. Can you envision a better game?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, and the situation that we're in too, to get a complete game, I'm not going to say we had to have that, but that really puts us in a much better situation now with, not to use anybody in our bullpen, and that's a big strength of ours is that pen, and we're going to need them, to win 3 more games. So, without a doubt, and to get a complete game out of Corey, what that did for our bullpen, to get the offense going like they did, defense is playing well, and I don't want to underestimate just the value of, getting the community behind us too. And I think that was a big thing, just with the crowd that was there, and they really got into it, and hopefully we'll keep that momentum going and they'll keep coming back and supporting us like that.
Justin, is it at all even a little bit more gratifying knowing that this win came against the state school, the University of Texas?
It feels good to beat the University of Texas, definitely. Like, Coach Heath said, we haven't beaten them in forever, and not since I've been here. And it's definitely great, getting the win at home in front of a big crowd like that. And it was exciting and definitely gave us some momentum going into the next games that we're playing. So we just, got to take what we got from the energy standpoint and move on.
Did you tell anybody you were going to have this many RBIs before? Did you have a feeling?
No, I felt good going into the game, but it just, kind of worked out the way it did. So, yeah.
Coach, Corey, the way he was able to go deeper in the game and pretty efficient, the ability seemed like to locate that breaking ball after the first couple innings for a strike. Was that kind of a key for him to get deeper into the game?
I think so, for sure. And knowing some of the hitters, especially in the middle of the order there, that they were sitting on his fastball pretty good. And there was a couple times where they were on it and they turned it around, and I thought he made a great adjustment, early in the count, like you said, to be able to throw those off-speed pitches for a strike. And he was throwing 2 off-speed pitches as well. He threw a slider and he was throwing his curveball. So I think that made it even better for him that he was able to locate both of those. Threw a few changeups on the day, but slider majority, most of the time. Threw his curveball in for a strike a few times, and then a lot of his strikeouts were fastballs later in the count, because he was able to mix like that early.
Corey, how do you count for going a complete game? Such a high-pressure situation when that's not your normal MO.
I don't know. I mean, it's a complete game. You get to do it whenever you like, but I don't know. I'm just blessed to be in this opportunity. So.
Your velocity was still there in the 9th, was it not? Same as it was in the first? Or do you feel like you got stronger?
I mean, I was able to pitch. I mean, pitchability is crucial, and when you get to D1 and above, I feel like, and I was able to throw that fastball wherever I liked.
We're sorry if you've already answered, you or anybody here has already answered this question, but the consensus was that Texas fans would outnumber DBU fans. Were you surprised at the crowd today and just the noise?
Not at all. That's DBU baseball for you. Obviously, Texas is going to bring their fans because how big they are and all the tradition and whatnot, but it was awesome to get a big crowd base like we did today.
Dan, was there any concern about maybe where this team was mentally after the VCU loss, or how were you kind of reading your players going into this game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were down after that game the other night. It was kind of, nothing went well for us in that game. I didn't feel like the biggest thing as a coach, you just want your guys to be themselves, and I didn't feel like we were ourselves that night. So, we've got a great relationship with our guys, and, we just we talked about it. We said, we're going to end this thing being who we are. And that's where it kind of helped yesterday, where we had the day off. We had a meal together, kind of had a meeting together and kind of went over some things and what our approach was going to be the rest of the way. And I thought they did a fantastic job with the mentality they had, the confidence they had, just the way they were behind each other and the way they enjoyed the situation.
Where was the book on Texas that you were trying to pitch to? I know you were trying to pitch your game, but what was the scouting report you got on that?
1, 3, 6. Those holes can't double up, which I mean, like you can't throw a slider for a strike and then try to double that up because they'll be sitting on it. So I was trying to really avoid that. And then, I mean, other than that, I was just trying to locate the fastball in and out, up and down, I guess. And I was able to throw a slider a few times for a strikeout. So.
Were you able to throw a slider and a curve in the same game very often?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Justin, what was the last time you kind of had a day like today at the plate that you felt as locked in as you were?
At some point this year, I've had a few games this year where I felt really locked in and maybe didn't get the results that I had today. But as far as seeing the ball, it's definitely happened to me a few times this year, and I'm just trying to repeat that and repeat the confidence, repeat the swing, and just take that into the rest of this tournament.
Did you do anything different coming into today?
No, not really. I just try to get a good pitch in the zone, try to be a little more patient, and just put a good swing on it, and just let the rest happen.
I know you guys had a winning record against Big 12 teams this year. Did any of the Big 12 schools recruit you to win over?
Not really, no.
No, sir.
I had an offer from University of Pennsylvania in the Ivy League, but other than that, that was it.
I had a bunch of JUCO offers, but other than that, only other D1 was ORU. It was ORU in here, so I picked here.
You take special pleasure in ousting a big school like Texas?
Yeah, we enjoy that, definitely.
Coach Justin, Corey, thank you.
Thank you.